Now we need to go back to the learners and see what other questions they have for us.
Well, guys, you really rock. And next up for our next question is Akil, right?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Fine, and you?
I'm very good, thank you. So tell me, are you thinking of going into business maybe?
Yes.
You are? What are you thinking of doing?
Pediatrician.
Oh, nice. So you like kids? Do you have any siblings?
No.
No, but you still like kids. Okay, awesome. So why don't you go ahead and ask your question?
I want to sell hot dogs at the entrepreneurial day. I want to make 10% profit. How much should I sell it for?
Well, guys, you heard the man. He's serious about this business.
Well, the price you will need to charge is going to depend on two things. First of all, your expenses, and then how much profit you want to make. If you want to make 10% profit, you need to add 10% to your expenses. Then you'll know the big amount you're looking for. Then you need to divide that by the number of hot dogs you're going to make, and you'll know exactly how much to charge for one hot dog. I think we need to look at some examples to see how we're going to calculate this. Well, our first learner who's going to sell hot dogs is Mpo. Mpo buys 24 hot dog buns for 14 Rand. She's going to sell 24 hot dogs. She also buys 24 sausages for 25 Rand and tomato sauce for 9 Rand. Now let's calculate what is the price if she wants to make 10% profit. So how do we do that? First we need to find out her expenses. So how much did she pay for everything she was going to use to make her hot dogs? There was 14 Rand for the buns, and she paid 25 Rand for her sausages, and of course don't forget the tomato sauce. Hot dog without tomato sauce is not a hot dog. So 9 Rand. Her total amount, let's add it up with our calculator. We have 14 plus 25 plus the 9 Rand for the tomato sauce. She's going to spend 48 Rand just to buy her ingredients. So we have 48 Rand. That was the cost of her expenses, but we're looking for 10% profit. So we need to work out 10% of 48 Rand. Shall we use our calculator? We need to calculate 10% of 48 Rand. Her total profit will be 4 Rand 80. Now we're still wanting to find out what is her selling price. We now know that will be 48 Rand plus the 4 Rand 80. So we have 48 Rand plus our 4 Rand 80. That's how much money she's looking for in total. And together that's going to give us 52 Rand and 80 cents. So what is the price of one hot dog? How many hot dogs is she going to sell? 24. So let's record. 52 Rand 80 cents divided by the 24 hot dogs, and we'll have the price for one. Let's use our calculator. We have 52 Rand 80 cents divided by 24 hot dogs, and we have each hot dog is going to cost 2 Rand 20 cents. Now let's summarize what we've done. We worked out how much is Mpo going to pay her expenses. That was 48 Rand. We calculated her 10% profit and added it to her 48 Rand. That's how much money she wants to get back. Then you divide it by the 24 hot dogs she's going to sell, and we found out she's going to sell her hot dogs for 2 Rand 20 cents each. Now let's go to a second example. We're going to meet a young man called Gift. Gift also sells hot dogs. This is the problem Gift is going to solve. Gift buys 48 hot dog buns. He's going to sell more hot dogs than our friend Mpo. He pays 28 Rand for the buns. He pays 55 Rand for the sausages. And he also buys tomato sauce for 11 Rand. So what's his selling price if he also wants to make 10% profit? We need to start with his expenses. Well, let's see. It was 28 Rand for the buns. And he also had 55 Rand for the sausages. And then, of course, 11 Rand for the tomato sauce. If we add all of that up, we get, let's use our calculator, 28 plus 55 plus 11 Rand for the tomato sauce, and he's going to pay 94 Rand. So we can record his expenses, 94 Rand. Now we need to find out the 10% profit he wants to make. So let's say 10% of 94 Rand. Let's use our calculator. 10% of 94 Rand. That gives us 9 Rand 40. So how much money does Gift want to make all together? We have the 94 Rand he paid, his expenses, plus his profit, which is 9 Rand 40. And we find our final answer is, can you work it out? Yes, he wants 103 Rand 40 cents. But of course, we're not finished. We want to know the selling price of one hot dog. So we take our 103 Rand 40 cents, which is what the money is wanting to make, and we divide it by the number of hot dogs. Can you remember? 48 hot dogs. And let's see how much is he going to charge for one hot dog. We have 103 Rand and 40 cents. We divide that by the 48 hot dogs we're selling, and he's going to make, let's round off, 2 Rand and 15 cents. Now can you remember Mpo charged 2 Rand 20 cents? He's charging 2 Rand 15 cents. I wonder where the learners are going to buy their hot dogs. Now if you look at the profits that Mpo and Gift is making, you will see it's actually very little. Mpo is making 4 Rand 80. And poor Gift is only making 9 Rand 40. And that's for making 48 hot dogs. I think the hot dogs might be a little bit cheap. 2 Rand 20 and 2 Rand 15. What price do you think would be fair to charge for a hot dog? Now you get to calculate the selling price of some items on sale at the Entrepreneurial Day. Why don't you try Activity 3? I hope you enjoyed our first lesson on finance and that you can now calculate profit and loss and that you'll find it useful next time there's an Entrepreneurial Day at your school. See you next time.
Well, are you happy now?
Yes.
So you've got everything sorted. Great stuff. It's time for us to head out of here. So guys, don't worry. We'll be back in the next lesson with more questions. So hey, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.